crotch, bring it back, single leg. Sweet. Let me teach you how to wrestle. Okay. Let me teach you how to wrestle.
Why is wrestling your favorite sport?
I think wrestling's my favorite sport, just because I've invested a lot of time in it. So obviously, the more you commit to something, the more you'll find joy in it. But I really like how it's individual. You can wrestle your individual match, and then you also have that team aspect at the same time. Being able to move is kind of like an art. Just fight, balance, like that fight, the art, all those things together. For me, it just works. It feels really natural, wrestling, so I like that.
All right, now your dad being a really good wrestler, how did he get you to like wrestling? Well, I can't get someone to do it, but you got into it without burning you out, but also helping you cultivating a champion.
I think the biggest thing was just attitude. I have some really cool photos from way back, and my dad would be wrestling, and sometimes I would win, sometimes I would lose wrestling him when I was really small, like 4 years old, 5 years old. And when he would lose, he'd lay on the ground like he couldn't move. And I'd be on him jumping up and down. And I'd be jumping up on him, and there's this great photo of me like jumping on his back as he's laying on the ground. Yeah, like, no, you gotta win with respect. And then other times, he would beat me in wrestling. He'd beat me in wrestling, and then I'd be laying on the ground upset. He'd shake his hand. He'd be like, no, you have to shake his hand. You have to be looking at him and shake their hand. So just doing both of those things, making sure that when I'm winning, I'm not overly celebrating. And I understand emotionally, like people get in big moments, but just when I'm winning, understanding, just shake hands and be respectful. Losing, shake hands and be respectful. That was from a young age. So I wanted to be respectful the entire time. That was a big thing. My dad was born in Japan, Japanese, core Japanese, so like in Japan, like that's a big thing. Respect, honor. And so I think just in my wrestling, I think the bigger challenge as I get older has been kind of turn the dial and be a little more intense, be a little more assertive, more aggressive. But I don't have any problem toning it down, treating people with respect. That's simple. So my dad did that, so the focus wasn't really wrestling. It was just being a good person.
Well, I think it's also the thing that pops out in a lot of people's minds after national finals. Still with the smile on your face, and obviously it still hurts. Like, I mean, talk about that. Like how you're able. Most people, like a lot of people, think, well, that's impossible for me.
Yeah, I think honestly, I was not trying to smile. I wasn't like it generally wasn't an act. It was my kind of like one of my game plans was like, all right, we gotta fire on a shot. Like, we have to commit to it. I don't want to lose by being on my heels and backing up. And then towards the end, when it was a short time, I went after a shot, got the leg, got behind. So in my mind, some part of me, in that moment, I felt fulfilled. But then there's more. That's not the end of the match. But I did do better than I had every time, like on getting to my offense, which is great. And then short time, Grammys, gets a takedown, and I get taken down. I'm like, man. And I think they broke it. I don't know why they called it. They broke it right there. But either way, like there was a reset, and coach's challenge, and I saw there were like 6 seconds left. And in that moment, I was like, they're gonna give him the that's not challenge. I was like, he's gonna get the takedown. I'm gonna be on bottom, and we had like 2 minutes walking back and forth. So in that moment right there, I had already processed. I was like, all right, I got taken down. We gotta hustle. What do we do? I'm doing the math. I'm like, it's 1-1. Got taken down. It's 4-1. I was like, the only option is pin him, get away, and take him down. I got 6. Like I was like, what are we gonna do? I don't know, but I'm not gonna do nothing. So I got set, and as soon as the whistle blew, I just stood up. Didn't get away, but 6 seconds left. National finals. Defeat is almost guaranteed. With 6 seconds left and down by 3 points, I stood up, still exploded up. And in that moment right there, I was proud of myself because I competed the entire time. Like that is what I wanted. We're gonna lose, 6 seconds left. 99% of people would stay there and just sit on the ground and stay there. Right. Or would take a long time to get on the bottom because they're not accepting it. Like I was down there ready to explode up for no real reason other than I love to compete. I was not going to win in those 6 seconds. I knew that. But wanted to compete, get ready for whatever's next, how I want to be remembered, how I want to look back on it. Kept going. So after I lost, I felt so close. Yeah, being a national champion means you scored more points, you get your hand raised. But I've also gotten my hand raised and not won matches before. So what is really the difference? The difference was finishing a takedown. What's it? I mean, look back in history books. There'll be a national champion, there'll be a guy that got second place. Second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth, seventh, and eighth, they kind of start to bleed together as the years go by. Now, he was an All-American. Doesn't matter if you got second or eighth, they'll just call you an All-American. But how I competed, I was like, man, just that close. I got to experience it all. that there's a lot of complex emotions there, but try to hold on to the encouraging, the motivational ones. Because I'll tell you, like, I remember when I got third, I was like, man, I wish I could have at least made it to finals. No. Third is so much better than second place. Yeah. So much better. And like they're drastically different. Third is kind of like, especially coming in third, like as like not kind of expected to do that. I mean, I expected some good stuff, but like getting third is kind of like, yeah, great, all right, things are starting to look good.
Yeah.
Next year it's mine. Getting second is like, oh my, I made all of this stuff and it's still just, it's like just right there. But I think third place is more of just like gives you like an optimistic mindset. And second place gives you a realistic mindset. Like you're fully aware. Or if you learn from other people, you see it happen, like I am fully aware of what I have to do. If I want it, I know exactly what I have to do. Third place, like, all right, I'm in the right direction. Just keep going. Keep doing what I'm doing. Second place, like, no, this need to be better. And it's just, I think it motivates you. Because second sticks with you. Second sticks with you for a long time. I've talked to some other people, like people reach out. There's a long list of people who got second place. And I don't think people remember who got second place, but as soon as I was getting text messages from all kinds of other people, guys who got second place and NCAAs, I was like, I get it. I've talked with other people. It's different. That was probably the worst feeling in all of wrestling, like ever. But that made me more motivated than I've ever been. It's really, there's balance.
Yeah, well, you won a micro battle by not quitting and wrestling hard till the very end. So like you felt good about that for that in that moment. So it's like it's shifting your focus to think about even the little battles that you win, even if it feels like in the moment the war was lost, but it's not over.
No, you just got to keep going. I think that's the thing. Like as long as I'm really just life, as long as I'm breathing, I'm going to keep fighting. That's the goal for everyone. As long as you're breathing, you got something to work towards. And wrestling is not all of life. It's a part of it, but I want to do my best. I want to compete in everything I do. I want to be the best version that I can be. And seeing what that is, test myself. Like, was that my best? At the time, I was like, I had to do everything. And I was happy with that. As time passed, I was like, all right, well, if I did everything, how can I get better? And then I started really analyzing, like, what could I do better? At that time, I was smiling because I was like, I did so much. I told myself I did everything. Looking back on it, I didn't do everything. I did a lot, but there's more things I can do. And that is what makes me happy, knowing that like I gave my best effort at that point, but there's more things that I can do. I get another opportunity to do more. And who knows? I mean, life is about learning. You keep figuring things out, but you better be fully confident and be able to honestly say that I did everything every box that I know about, I checked. You're not going to know everything, but everything that I thought about, I prepared for that properly, and that's all I can think about. And just keep telling myself that, because man, I come in here, I'm just like, it depends on the day. It depends, like anytime, like if I'm lifting, if I'm wrestling, if I'm running, like it keeps happening. Like every day, I'll be like, if I had 6 seconds right now, like what would I rather do this or do that again? I'm like, okay, I just do something. Like it is all day. Oh my.
Yeah. We're playing it back in your head and thinking about it?
I'm not trying to, but it's that extra motivation. I think I'm doing a good job. Because it's not, as long as I think about that way, it's not that, oh no, I don't want to lose again. That's not innately as humans, we don't want to lose again. But that's not the focus. And as long as I keep telling myself, the focus is not that. The focus is to make sure that I'm presenting my best self. Present my best self. Do it. Just present my best self. That's all I can control. And that is what keeps me on the positive side.
That's it. All right, another happy topic. We were just talking about Justin Bashman.
Yeah.
One of our friends, he was saying, when we told him that we were going to be working with him, he said, oh, he's the best in college wrestling right now for social media. He said, great fit. So talk about that, what got you into posting more on social media, and a lot of people have seen the flips and all this, and also your perspective on wrestling and life. What motivated that, and what do you think the future is going to be with that for you?
So, I like that. So what motivated me for where it could be going? So, I started getting into posting a couple years ago, and it was because for the longest time I didn't want to post anything wrestling oriented on social media, just posted pictures from after matches. And then I really wanted to have like a following online so that I could put things out. And then I realized my whole life I want to run wrestling tournaments so I could get followers online. And that's a really silly mindset, but that's honestly what it was. Like, I was like, I want to win the Ironman tournament so I can get like 500 more followers. That's what I want to do. I want to go beat this guy so I can get some followers. I want to make a world team so I can get some followers, because then more people will like my picture. And that, it sounds silly, but I'll tell you, that's what this generation is thinking. That's like that's what's going on. I want more clicks. And then I was like, wait a minute. I saw it, and I was like, the most popular wrestler in the world, who has the most followers, is Hassan Azdani, and he has like 1.1 million, which is a lot. But there's like child actors on Netflix shows that have like 10 million. Right. And I'm like, okay, so wrestling is clearly not the path to fame, and that's not what it is. So why am I wrestling? I really thought about it. I'm like, all right, well, I still want to post videos, but if you want to gain followers if you want to gain an audience online, you have to give them content for people to watch it. So then I was like, all right, let me start filming. I filmed footwork videos. I filmed a lot of flipping videos. That's probably one of the most popular ones. And cooking, traveling, vlogs. I started just doing more. I have more things coming, and that one fulfills my creativity, some enjoyment. I like filming, I like editing, I like meeting people, stories. I like the whole process, putting it online, getting comments, and not just getting a comment, but responding to people and see what people are saying. That's really fun for me. And there's only so many hours in a day, so once it's wrestling season, that turns off, and someone else will do that. Some videographer, like, they'll handle that, and they'll get to keep growing that presence so people can still feel connected and see what I'm doing, but I don't have to do it. I can just focus on wrestling. So I think balance is really important, but I like social media. I want to stick with it for the long run, whatever outlet that may look like. Maybe it's long form, maybe it's one day, or like as soon as I'm training freestyle full time, traveling around the world, like there's gonna be some awesome content. I'm gonna be going around, cameraman, camerawoman, my fiance with the camera. I don't know what's gonna happen, but it'll be really cool. Traveling around the world, wrestling, freestyle. Whenever I get into coaching, filming here and there, whatever fits with the program. That's not the focus, but it's something I like to do, and I'll weave it in. I like being in front of the camera. I like being behind the camera. I like that stuff. It's fun.
How do you balance where you don't want, like, you have to be thinking about, I got to make more content. What kind of content am I going to make? And not just living for that, right? Not just living for the likes, even though knowing that, well, that is an important aspect too, but that's not all that it's about.
Yeah.
Be true to you, that kind of authentic.
Yeah, I think when I first started making videos, the first summer, so 2 summers ago, I posted a video every single day for 2 months. Every single day. And I went from like 13,000 followers to like 80,000, which is like one of the biggest jumps I made because I just kept doing it. So obviously it's clear, like if you wanna gain on it, just post the content. It will happen. Keep posting the content consistently, you'll gain a following. Simple. You could post anything. You could post cleaning a table with a wipe every day. Spray it, do a design, and but you do it every single day, it's gonna blow. It's just guaranteed. It is guaranteed to grow up. It just takes time. After doing so many flips, there's only so many flips I know how to do, I started getting tired of it. I was like, all right, what can I do? Then instead of just flipping all the time, I would flip one day a week, just film a bunch of videos and kind of put them out. And then I was like, all right, well, there's not many flips I know how to do, so what can I switch it up with? Could I keep doing flips, not flipping as often? I started thinking, what could I do? I don't want to go and flip. I already did that. Like you were saying before, like making the same video over and over again. It's like, well, how many times can I do a backflip in rec hall? Like, I mean, it's a backflip in rec hall. It'll probably perform well, but what is the excitement for me? Now I'm just doing it for other people. So that's why I started doing some other things. Been investing, getting different camera gear, different microphones. And recently, I'm starting more things where I'm just talking in front of the camera, sharing my thoughts. I think I start yapping a lot. I start talking a lot. And not all of it's good, but I at least have words to say. So if I just turn the camera on and as I'm walking, at least some part of there is going to be decent. Like decent, that people will like. Something in there is going to be good. Like every time I'm not doing an interview or a podcast, I look at it and my friends, my family, their friends always share it. Like, yeah, that's great. We love this. I'm like, all right, well, why should everyone be filming me, but I never film? Obviously, I enjoy this stuff. Why don't I just take it in my own hands and occasionally, like, I'll film myself. So that's why I'm starting to roll that out. Last week I talked about running without music and the differences, noticing nature. And you can start tying that into all kinds of different things. Being focused and not distracted, being present. And I'm going to be interviewing some Penn State wrestling teammates, doing their day in the lives, things that I like doing for myself, but also do for them. One, it helps me put content out there. Two, it helps people know those wrestlers that might not be inclined to make social media posts or don't know how to do it. It helps them. It'll give people something to look at. Great for the sport. And it'll try to grow the sport. Like one takedown in a match isn't going to grow the sport. Everything I do to grow the sport is going to come from off the mat. Like a majority of it, I can wrestle exciting. Whatever I do there, the people that are watching my wrestling matches are people that already like wrestling. So you're not going to grow the sport within people that already watch wrestling. If you want more people to watch wrestling, you have to bring wrestling into areas where there is not wrestling. Social media. more wrestling videos, wrestling mindset videos. People see that, they're like, what is wrestling? I've heard about that. And they start following, they build it up. People from the outside, we already have loyal followers, loyal supporters in wrestling, but we need people that don't wrestle, have no idea about wrestling, no affiliation to wrestling, to like wrestling. And they're not going to do that by watching NCAAs, because they're not going to watch NCAAs.
Right. All right, what are 5 of your favorite platforms? That's like what you recommend wrestlers to, hey, check this page out, check that one out, that you've liked. The time is now to take your mindset to the next level with Wrestling Mindset. Make sure you go to our website, wrestlingmindset.com, and sign up for your free trial session today. Don't wait any longer. You want the mental edge right now. When you sign up for the free trial session, you're also going to get a copy of our free ebook, Building the Predator Mindset. This book has helped thousands of people build confidence, relax under pressure, get motivated, and build mental toughness in wrestling, school, and life. Make sure you sign up for your free trial session today.
There's a lot of breakdown. So there's a couple different things. I think you got to think about like physically, mentally, emotionally. There's like breakdown videos, a couple like DPS breakdowns, something about a rabbit hole. I don't know. They're on YouTube, Instagram, and that's if you want technical breakdowns. Really good. You need your mind though. You can't just learn all the wrestling moves to be a good wrestler, right? You're wrestling all these moves, but you're afraid of this guy. Like you've drilled all these wrestling moves, and you've gone to practice since you were 5 years old. But let's say you've had a rough year, but you have the skills. Mentally, you're not ready. Like, hey, you need wrestling mindset. Your mind has to be ready. Mind, mentally, emotionally, you need all that. They got the book. They got it laid out. I journal a lot. I journal a lot. Blank page. I'm just journaling. I have my own process for how I like to do it that I've learned to do at like 22, 23 years old. That's what I learned how to do. I learned how to journal. Growing up though, I was not journaling, I was just going to wrestling practice. But there was a journal for me at that time. I would really love that. I was looking at the wrestling mindset journal earlier, and like these are the things that I am now journaling. If I had this 10 years ago, what might it look like? I don't know, but I would definitely use it. Now it's out. I think that's important. So breakdown videos, down the rabbit hole, DPS breakdowns, wrestling mindset, that's pretty good. I think UWW Wrestling, because they post a lot of different international matches, like freestyle wrestling, that's really cool. I think follow like the generic pages for all the different types, like beach wrestling, follow the beach wrestling account, that's cool. Follow Greco, follow freestyle, look at pancration, look at everything. Sumo wrestling, I follow so many different pages on Instagram, and I'm scrolling, and that's probably why my screen time on my phone is so, I'm just scrolling. And it's not always mindless. I look at funny things too. I open my Instagram page up, and it's just like people doing flips, wrestling breakdowns, and mindset. Like that is just different things. Just that's all it's talking about. People talking about breathing, cold therapy, just different things, all about what will make me a better wrestler.
Yeah, it sounds like you're looking at things that are feeding you into being the man that you want to be and the wrestler that you want to be, rather than, because obviously social media, you go down different roads too, where it becomes distraction, or the immoral, all kinds of things. It's like, talk about that a little bit, like how wrestlers could waste a lot of time on there too.
Yeah.
Just fine line.
I think it's just important that everyone knows that you are who you surround yourself with. And I don't think it's just who you surround yourself with, but your environment. You're what you become, a reflection of your environment. So if you're around a lot of good people, let's say you're around a lot of people that have really high morals and they're talking about great things and they would never do anything bad, right? But then you go home and you hang out with some friends that are not doing what those people do. Obviously that's bad. Let's say you're living a good life, following whatever you might want to do under a good guide, and then you're going on your phone and you're leaving hateful comments to people, or you're following like really polarizing things that and you're investing a lot of like emotional energy into controversy that especially does not matter to you, or like you're not actually going to change anything through your like when people are going on and like Facebook comments arguing when nothing they do is going to contribute to this problem at all, just mindless rambling, that's not good for you. Really whatever you could be looking at, just I think finding leisure and entertainment is good, but like my leisure is like Netflix and anime. It's not like there's worse vices. Like I watch a lot of movies and I watch a lot of TV, but I also watch a lot of wrestling, a lot of training, a lot of strength, a lot of flexibility. I take in a lot of content. You just have to be aware of what you're taking in, because it will show. Well,
it's like we were talking about before. We were all kind of says about like the buy-side class, or about your environment is more than just like where you are. It's like, all right, we're in this time period, we're in this state, you're in this town, you're at this school, but also who Who are the people that I surround myself with? What kind of content am I taking in? That's all your environment. And some of it you can control, some of it you can't.
Yep.
Right? Well, social media and like how you're spending your time, that's a lot what you can control. So no, that's good stuff. That's important for people.
Just controlling what you can control.
Yeah.
If you see something you don't like on Instagram, you can block, you can restrict, you can hide, like there's so many different buttons. You can get rid of it.
Right. So you don't go down that rabbit hole. All right. What else? Coaching. You said you wanted to coach future.
Yeah.
That's the real. That's like one of the big goals.
Yeah.
Coaching, I guess, and also probably own your own business. Also, I could see that.
Definitely. I don't. Probably restaurant. I think a breakfast place. Breakfast is my favorite meal. My parents own delis, so a couple weeks ago I did wrestling camp in Arizona, and the night before my fiance and I, we made all the sandwiches. We got videos and photos of us like making the sandwiches. I'm in the apron, I have the gloves on and everything, making them, and then the next day brought them to camp, and as they're eating them I was like, hey, yeah, we made them. And the kids were like, wow. I was like, no, like I made it. I showed the picture, and they all started clapping. And I wasn't asking for clap. I was just like, but to feel, I was like, okay, that you're right. You guys think that's really. I was just trying to tell you I made it, so like maybe like check it first. Yeah, make sure it's not terrible. But it was really cool. So I like the food business. I don't know how that would look. I'm definitely gonna be in there one day. Coaching also, love that.
Like a team or a club?
I think I really like youth wrestling. That's my favorite. I do a lot of clinics, and I think I have some strengths there. I think I can really...
Youth, you mean like high school, middle school, or grasshoppers?
Like, you don't know how to wrestle.
Okay.
At all.
Okay.
At the beginning, I'm sure I'd be open to like a high school or whatever that might look like. I don't know, but I really like... I feel like once the higher levels you go, like obviously they're more of them themselves. They're pretty like sculpt. Like if it's a marble statue, like they're pretty much like there. Yeah. You're just trying to make sure like nothing bad happens. Yeah. You're making like I call it the college level. Most of the time, you're just like, all right, don't get hit by a bus, don't do something crazy, and just stay consistent. Do what you're doing. Right. That's good. But there's small little things. Like a youth wrestler, I could like keep them in the sport. I could change their outlook on life. Like they could learn to treat others with respect. They can learn to take a win and a loss. They can learn to push themselves harder than they've ever pushed. They can learn to communicate their feelings and work like that. It's really cool. And honestly, yeah, sure they win wrestling matches, lose wrestling matches, all that stuff's gonna happen. But like I want to coach. I would coach softball. I would coach anything. I want to see little people grow. That's cool for me. That's what I want to do. Awesome. It's just wrestling is probably the most natural thing that I would do.
Right.
What would you teach the young kids? So if you get into like maybe the weeds physically, technically, where are some of the places you would start? So I got four young boys. Gina's 2 young boys. What should we be doing with them?
I mean, you guys know more, and probably a lot of it. You guys actually are parents. I do not have any kids, but I think when I see kids, like younger kids, the kids that aren't tying their shoes, maybe they just learned how to tie their shoes at camps. First thing I'm doing, like, I'm cracking a joke. I'm asking their name, I'm cracking a joke, and sometimes I think, like, we don't give really young kids credit. Like, you say a joke and they don't respond immediately, like, we think, like, they don't get it. No, they're smart. You just might have to, like, keep coming back with the joke. Like, are those good shoes? Like, those look like, I don't know, are those your favorite shoes? I had the same ones growing up. When they were good, they made me feel too slow. And then they might start thinking about it, looking at themselves like, are they slow? And they will think about it. You just have to kind of feed it to them. And then as we're doing a move, be like, yeah, good, or making sure they're strong. When we're wrestling, if someone doesn't have a partner, I'm like, all right, well, you can either do it on me, or you can do push-ups. And if they say I'm too big, like, all right, they do push-ups. Now we're doing push-ups. Like, who can do more push-ups? And you just keep going. Like, you really give them, it's not the illusion of choice. You fully give them choice. You kind of lead them into a productive way. So no matter what's happening, like something, they're going to lead it better than they found it. I don't think punishment, like making them, I grew up a little different. Like, you can tell, like, each generation, it just gets a little, I don't know if softer is the right word, but it's a little, each generation is like more square, I think. I don't know. Like, I was growing up, if I wasn't paying attention or if I was drilling wrong, like I'm sitting on the wall, like in like holding an isometric pose for like a long time. Or running sprints, stuff like that. Now, like, safe sport, like there's a lot of things which are good in place, like you can't punish kids. Like, that's not a thing, which is good, very good. But I think if that's what people know how to coach, it's like, you either do this or you get punished. That's not an effective way for coaching. I mean, you know, you're psych degree. And like, that's not the negative, that doesn't, the positive reinforce, like reinforcing something good is much stronger than like consequences. So just doing that, like, hey, they didn't move real well. All right, how do you like this? I try to run the practice, and like the way I call it now in college, a lot of people say that the Penn State practices are really different. Like they're odd. It's like on your own. You guys are kind of just all doing your own thing. I'm like, what? No, they run us through things. Like, yeah, but you do that, and then you guys do a bunch of your own stuff. So trying to find a way for younger wrestlers to have more ownership over what they're doing, because if they have more ownership, they'll be more invested. But obviously, you can't just have 10 7-year-olds in the room like, all right, guys, warm up on your own, run through some takedowns, and we're gonna go live. That doesn't work. But have just some training wheels, some bumpers, and then like you slowly start peeling them away. Give them that time to like, hey, work on your favorite. I think 7-year-olds, you can definitely say, hey, just work on your favorite move for 5 minutes. No one does that.
Yeah. They
show every kid, like, hit the high crotch now. I hit the single leg. What if he wants to be a Greco Olympic champ? What's this high crotch going to do for him?
Right.
What if he's just wrestling because his home life isn't great?
Yeah.
Like, why is he do something you want to do? It's fun. They don't want to make it fun. That's why when Penn State wrestlers say we're having fun, it gets so angry. Like, no, we are having fun. We're not faking it. We are having fun. The reason we wrestle is different than the reason you wrestle. Because of how you were coached. It's not your fault. It's how you were coached and how they were coached. You don't see wrestling as fun. Okay, I'm not going to change it. I wrestle because I have fun. I'm not mad that you don't see as wrestling as fun. You don't have to be mad at me for seeing wrestling as fun. It's okay. We have our different beliefs. Like, it's okay.
Yeah, it's a funny way to look at it, and you shouldn't, like, why shouldn't you be having fun? Does that mean you're any less intense? Does that mean you're any less good because you're having fun and enjoying the sport? Like, you can be intense and have fun at the same time.
You can have a lot of fun at kickball. Want to kick the ball as hard as you can, sprint, and like kind of, but you're having fun.
Yeah.
You can do that in wrestling.
Yeah, that makes sense.
I'm not good at kickball though, so I don't actually have fun.
Dodgeball. No.
I've been playing a lot better. I've been playing a lot better recently.
He's getting better.
I'm playing some of my best dodgeball, but it's still not great.
Not Shane level?
No. Well, he's good. Like, when he wants to throw the ball, Shane's right. When he wants to throw the ball, like, he can hit people. But like a lot of times, he's low key. He's like low key, here. But when he wants to take people out, like, that's power right there. He can get the ball. He can decide if he wants to get you out or not. I have the ball. Like,
I quarterback.
I throw it to whoever's closest to me. And people get mad. I'm like, you were the closest person to me. I don't have the arm to throw it 2 mats down. If you are near me, I'm gonna hit you. Like, that's just what it is. There's like a couple people I won't hit. Everyone else, fair game. Then they get mad at me. I'm like, I'm just having fun.
Who won't you hit? Someone who's competing.
I won't hit Shane, David Evans. I've recently settled a truce with Alex Facundo. My number one dodgeball target is Aurelius Dunbar. We used to be partners. We used to be like really good in dodgeball. We're still awesome friends. But we used to be close in dodgeball. But I just felt like I was Justin Timberlake and like NSYNC. I felt like I had to go my own way, and he was holding me back. So I kicked him to the curb, and now I take him out.
All right.
That's what it is.
That's what it is.
Growing pains.
What are some of the common mental struggles you see? I guess the different levels, like a young kid, high school, and then college wrestlers. What are some of the, red flags that you see?
Red flags.
Mental blocks, whatever you want to call them. Mental mistakes they make. Wrong points of focus.
Or even, why should you be training your mind at different levels? Right, a young kid, why should you train his mind? Someone who's in college, someone who's had the success that you've had, why do you continue to, journal and work on your mentality?
I think mental strength is just as important at every age. But as you age, there's more and more tasks on your plate. There's so many more. Like, as a little kid, all right, your food's getting made for you. You don't got to pick your clothes. Everything's done for you. All you have to do is, like, once you're driven to practice, and once maybe your shoes are tied, and the coach is going to run practice, you know everything. All you got to do is just give your best effort. That's it. All you got to do is give your best effort in wrestling practice. And as a young kid, knowing how to push yourself and get to that point, and if you're not going through the motions, you need mental strength to push yourself further, and to keep going, and to have a positive attitude. Because if you have a negative attitude in wrestling practice, you're not going to have a very productive day as you start getting older. Let's say now you're 13, 14. Now maybe you have maybe you're in a relationship, or maybe you have older siblings, or maybe school's getting a little harder. You still have to get your best effort in not just one area. Now you're in like 3 or 4, and you're doing that. Managing friendships, you're doing that. Now let's say you're upper level guy in high school. Now you got to start thinking you're stressed about recruiting, what you're going to do after high school, probably a more serious relationship, you're probably at the age where you're starting to actually see your family as like people and not just like your parents as like those people. Like, you start to like think about like what's going on with their day. Maybe that's around that age. I don't know what, but like you start to actually like think about more things. You start to see as you start to think a little bit more as an adult. Not an adult, but you start understanding the world around you, right? You get to college and now like you got to think like, all right, I got to make money, I got to pay rent, I got to do everything I've already been doing. What am I going to do after college? What do I want to do today? Do I want to wrestle? Am I going to wrestle? What degree? Like, there's so many, and this is just college. Like, this is like the 18 to 22-year-old range. Then the next stuff is like, I'm going to get kicked off my parents' insurance. Once I'm like 25, 26, I got to get my own insurance. Now we're talking about like buying a home, moving a whole family, like long-term job stability, keep going down the line. Kids, so mental toughness, it's just like understanding how your mind is thinking as you get more and more, because it doesn't end. It just keeps building up. And if you're not building your mind up with you as you get older, you will fall under. So that is important. And that's why people say like, once you've wrestled, everything else is easy. I don't know if it's easy, but once you've wrestled, yeah, you have those tools to push you. Like, you know, like what hard work is like the key to everything. Without hard work, you're really not going to accomplish this goal, whatever it might be. Hard work, whether that's like your job, your family, your relationship, making money, like work hard, and that can help get you there. Doesn't mean it always gets you there. You can work hard for a whole year and lose in the national finals, but you'll get a lot closer than if you didn't work hard.
Right.
So that's why. Mental toughness, mindset. That's key.
Right.
Asking Ed, what's something about you that people don't know? We know you're a wrestler. You know the social media. We know you can flip.
Can you sing? Can you dance? Can you act?
Yeah.
It's gonna be a tough one for you because you put your life out there a lot.
Particularly good at spelling. I don't know.
I got second place in my 4th grade state spelling bee.
See?
You speak Latin. We learned that today.
I can read Latin.
Could read Latin.
What is? I think with how much time I've spent not getting angry in wrestling and like being calm has caused me to get really, really, really furious if I lose in a video game.
I was thinking that as you were saying it, I was like, I bet she was going to say video game.
I get mad. Like, I've been playing Smash Bros. A lot on the Nintendo Switch, and yeah, my voice is shaking now. I'm mad now. I'm already mad again. But I love the game. I really love it, and it's awesome that a lot of great friends are also playing the game. But like, there's no one I can beat consistently. Like, I can squeeze by a win, but I need someone that I can just crush in this game to feel good.
It's not happening right
now. I love this game. I'm dedicating hours to this. Like, I have the Nintendo Switch. I bought a Pro controller that has like a special button that you can click from the back.
What's the problem?
I don't know. Because Shane has a Pro controller too. He's had it. I think that's a secret. No, but he's good. But I've been trying.
You play again, Shane?
Yeah.
Sorry.
Smash Bros. Really, I love it though. But when I win, I'm jumping up and down. Like, I don't like. Well, you would think a 7-year-old.
What about the shaking the hand and the winning?
No, I don't do that. No, not for Smash
That's
Bros.
Wrestling. That's wrestling.
But I think it's because I also
Maybe you're changing it too much. Maybe
I don't talk smack in wrestling. I don't talk smack in wrestling.
And you do it this?
Oh, in Smash Bros. I'm talking smack. I'm yelling.
Maybe you're changing
I'm
too
mad.
much. This sounds like a mindset thing.
I think when Smash Bros. Mindset comes out, I think that can help me get to the next level. Because right now I'm just trying to wing it and I'm running in circles.
Oh, good stuff. Thanks a lot, bro. Really appreciate it. Thanks for everything. Awesome.